says, can a menstruating woman recite daily adhkar and prescribed surah like Kahf on Friday and Mulk every single night? The answer is definitely there's no problem in a menstruating woman reciting the Quran. The prohibition is in touching the actual physical Quran. But reciting the Quran out of memory, she can do that 24/7. Reciting the Quran or reading it from an iPad or from an electronic gadget, from your telephone, from your PC, from a book of tafsir, which is not only Quran, but mixed with other words, this is totally legit and permissible.
I wanted to know the ruling of touching and reciting the Quran during impurity or during menses or like that.
Okay.
Actually, some certain school of thought, they say that yes, it is allowed. Certain says that it is not allowed. So I just want the Rajih call.
Okay. The most authentic opinion is that a person who is not in the state of purity should not touch the Quran directly. And if a woman is in her state of impurity due to her menses, she is also not allowed to touch the Quran directly with her bare hands. But if she were to wear gloves, there's no problem. If she were to recite the Quran from memory, there's no problem. If she were to read the Quran from a PDA or from her mobile or from a book of tafsir, because a book of tafsir is not a Quran. It's a mixture between the Quran and the tafsir and the words of human beings. This is why there is no problem in that, none whatsoever. As for the opinion of some scholars who say that a woman in her monthly period must not recite the Quran, this is not authentic nor true. And Allah Azza wa Jal would not prevent a woman from staying away from reciting the Quran for a week or more, and Allah knows best. Mrs. Mustafa, she says, we know that Allah Azza wa Jal, as in the hadith, descends to the lower heaven when the last third of the night is due. And of course, when you read this, any Muslim would think that Allah's attributes are not like ours. So his descent would not be like ours. So we can't try to figure out how that is possible, because thinking about it is impossible. So you believe in it as it is without thinking that Allah's descent is like human beings' descent, and Allah Azza wa Jal has the highest example. So we believe in it as it is, without trying to figure it out. Now she says that in the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, when Allah descends to the lower heaven, he says, هَلْ مِن مُسْتَغْفِرٍ فَأَغْفِرُ لَهُ? Is there anyone seeking forgiveness, so I'd forgive him? هَلْ مِن سَائِلٍ فَأُعْطِيهِ? Is anyone asking me, so I would give him? هَلْ مِن دَاعٍ فَأُجِيبُهُ? Is anyone calling so that I would answer him? So she says, this happens in the last third of the night. Now, a woman in her period, how can she do that? There's no problem, none whatsoever. In the hadith, the Prophet didn't say that this person calling Allah or asking for something or seeking forgiveness has to be in prayer. If you are raising your hands and saying, oh Allah, forgive me, oh Allah, give me, oh Allah, answer me, Allah will answer you. So a lot of the women, when they get their monthly period, they feel devastated, depressed, that as if Allah doesn't love them. A'udhu billah. This is Satan messing with your mind. This is something that Allah Himself decreed upon you as women. So if it takes place, you should be content and happy, because this is what Allah chose for you. This is not your doing. So no one can blame you for it. So the only thing you cannot do is pray. But you can read the Quran, you can make dua, you can make dhikr, you can do whatever you want except prayer. So there's no problem in that, inshallah, none whatsoever.